Do I need to talk here? Whatever. Thank you for coming and for, I know that it's a beautiful day outside and on the pool, so I really appreciate your presence here in this presentation. My name is Estácio Pereira. I'm a PhD candidate at the University of Alberta. I'm supervised by Dr. Simon Arborisk and Dr. Senem Khan. And I'm going to present for you today our research project, a simulation framework for assessing the safety performance with integrated database. Our presentation, we are going to identify our problem, discuss the objective of this research. We defined a framework, and we are going to apply case study our future research and the conclusions and contributions that we're expecting with this research. Can you hear me on the back? Okay, thank you very much. So to start, we measure safety performance on our construction projects. And usually to measure the safety performance, companies use reactive indicators. What is this reactive indicators? They just measure the safety performance after an accident happens. So basically, what you try to do is to avoid the same mistake to happen again. So, however, most of the current accident causation models says that an accident is caused by the occurrence of one of several accident precursors. And examples of accident precursors, we have workers' ability to identify hazards, workers' neglect of hazards. And these accident precursors actually, they are influenced by several departments on the company. So the performance of these departments can influence the occurrence of accident precursors that can affect the accident, that can cause the accidents, and consequently companies just use the accidents to measure the safety performance. However, in practice, usually just the safety department is responsible to control the safety, occurrence of these accident precursors. All the other departments of the company are neglected. In addition to that, the behavior of this construction project is dynamic, so the conditions of projects are constantly changing. Although we have several current approaches that try to measure this relationship between safety-related measures, other studies called as leading indicators, so we have a lot of terminologies. The relationship between these factors and the safety performance, what happens is that although these studies are able to identify this relationship, when it's time for the manager to take proactive actions to control the safety performance, we have a dynamic environment that changes the behavior of the project and the safety-related measures over time. So what may happen is that managers have difficulty to control these measures in advance. So for instance, we have one of the safety-related measures that we have is inspection rate. And the inspection rate, the quantity of inspection rate, the quantity of inspections that you have every month on your construction site is different. So how many inspections should you have in your company? It's difficult to know because all the other factors are changing every month, so the manager doesn't know how many inspections they should have. So if we could collect data from several departments and we could identify safety-related measures in all of them, and if we could aggregate this information and use them to evaluate the safety performance, and if we could build a simulation model to replicate the behavior of these measures and the project, we could so provide to the project and safety managers with information for them to control these measures in advance. In this way, our purpose with this framework is to combine the use of different departments' database and simulation models to assess and predict the safety performance. And how does it work? First, we have a brainstorm with project and safety managers. And why we have this brainstorm? Data that companies collect are different. If you go to different 10 companies, the data they collect is different. The safety culture that they have is different. So the measure that they are going to use is different. So in this brainstorm, we have interviews with project and safety managers. And we go there and we try to identify what data they collect and what variables we can extract from this data. Once we are able to identify these variables, we collect them on databases and documents. Some of them are not on database, so we have to expand a little bit of the scope of the project to consider documents such as drawings and Excel spreadsheets. After that, we build our on-site risk level database. Once we have our on-site risk level database, we start the assessment phase. That is the component. So we clean the data, we reduce the dimensionality, and we assess the influence of these different safety-related measures on the safety performance. Once we identify these measures, we go to our third component, that is the simulation model. So the simulation model, we combine discrete and continuous simulation, where we are going to replicate the behavior of these safety-related measures over time in the same way as the project performance. And the user in this way, the project and safety manager, they will enter with a scenario of a project, and the simulation model will be able to replicate this project behavior and publish the safety-related measures over time. It will feed the assess component. The assess component will calculate the safety performance, and so the user will have these final evaluations for them to take proactive actions to control the safety performance. Looking each one of these components in details, we have the first one is the data adapter. You can see that we collect the data from departments. So, for instance, payroll, and the payroll is the best data of a company. The payroll data for sure is right. So we have the worker start date on a project. So based on this data, this worker that start date, we define it as a related measure that is new workers rate on a project. From the scheduling department, we have the planned and as-built scheduling, and we define it as a related measure as project hours completed or by hours planned. So we collect data from different departments, and after that, we have several assessment tools that can be used to evaluate the use of these measures on the safety performance, to evaluate influence. We have multilinear regressions, we have case-based reasoning, we have artificial neural networks. The use of each one of these methods depends on the accuracy that you want, the clarity explanation between input and output, the simplicity in update the model as you collect more data, and also the minimum quantity of data points required. Some of these methods, such as multilinear regressions and artificial neural networks, they require a minimum ratio between the quantity of inputs and outputs. And as you are considering data from different departments, maybe the quantity of inputs data is much higher than the outputs. So something to consider as well. And by the end, we have our simulation model. Again, as I explained before, the simulation model should be combined with the assessment, because the simulation model will just replicate the project and safety-related measures behavior over time, and will provide to the simulation, to the assessment tool, how to this information to calculate the data. We are considering two types of simulation. We are considering continuous and discrete event, especially because in the company that we are conducting this study, we are considering with industrial projects and developing discrete simulation, discrete events for each one of these activities. It will be almost impossible because we have so many activities in the industrial project in the oil setting. So actually we are considering the progress of the project as a continuous approach. And if you have any activity that have a higher influence on the project schedule, cost, or quality, you can use the discrete event just to model this activity. So we developed a case study with just some of variables. So we got the raw data from the payroll department in this way, and we extracted some safety-related measures from this data, from this database. We developed a case. In this case study, we have 3 construction projects. Our sample size is 84. Every month is considered a data point in our sample size, and we have a different project for validation, and this project was 17 months. We used this list of variables, video card rate, that is behavior-based observation. So basically, in this company, the workers should evaluate the behavior of their co-workers and see if they are at risk or not. We have the near miss rate, new workers rate, temperature, workers age, crew size, and working days. We use a multilinear regression model to identify this relationship between this variable and the safe output. And basically, our output is based on the quantity of incidents. We are not considering just recordable incidents because in this company, at least, the quantity of recordable incidents is low, so we are considering first aid as a kind of incident as well. So the assessment model, we found that 5 variables were significant. Crew size and working days were not significant in this case, and especially working days had a different pattern that we were expecting of. We were expecting that if you increase your working days, you would have more incidents, but in this company it was the opposite. And we also identified that combining more than one measure, we have better results than just using individual measures. We also developed our simulation model. We used Symphony, developed by Dr. Alvarez. So the user entered with the project specification on a spreadsheet, and we have here a discrete event that calculates the safety-related measure on a daily basis. And here we have the continuous simulation that is responsible to calculate the project progress. And they share the information to calculate the safety assessment. So we developed scenarios, changing the BPO rate and also changing the amount of working hours for different months. And we could see that actually these scenarios could help the project managers to avoid peaks of workers or improve the BPO rates depending on how they want to evaluate their scenarios. And of course, having schedule, cost, and quality on the top of their mind as well, not just safety. On our future research, we want to do some improve our output. So instead of having just the median or the maximum value, we want to have the average of the various simulation runs model and the maximum, so the user can see which months they have a higher risk and just try to implement more restrictive policies during these months. The conclusions and contributions with this research, we were able to identify that these database safety-related measures suggested by the existing literature can actually be used to control the risk on construction sites. But more important was that if you use data from different departments of your company, you can have a proactive approach to control the safety performance. The simulation models on a theoretical perspective can assist these managers in the decision-making processes. And the simulation model supports a systemic approach to evaluate the safety performance. This model can also help companies to define safety policies not only for the safety department, but also for the scheduling department, cost, and design department. Thank you very much.